Good. Check.
Welcome to Unity Community of Central Oregon, our first service of the new year. We are so happy to see all of you here virtually, and we want to welcome everybody who's here for the first time, whether you're turning over a new leaf and have decided to make Unity part of your intentions for the new year, or you just happened upon us, we welcome you. This is a very welcoming and inclusive community. We are like a family, and we aren't all alike in any family, but we are bonded by love. So no matter what the color of your skin, no matter what your sexual orientation is, no matter what your political preferences are, no matter whether you're having a good day or a not so good day, you are welcome here. You are part of our family. Let's say our mission statement together. We are a vibrant, welcoming, multi-generational, prosperous community, embodying love and awakening spiritual consciousness. And I just want to mention that we have Reverend Jim Pasmore here with us today. He is going to be our speaker, and I am so excited about that. Reverend Jim is ordained as a minister of light. He went through the same initial training that I did, and so we're kind of compatriots in that. He's somebody who is now retired. It took 3 tries before he finally retired for good, but he's somebody who's just this energizer bunny. He has so much love in him and so much energy to give, and he gives so much of it to Unity. And he's someone who has written a book called Flash, Your Life in 3.5 Seconds. And so he has a lot of experience of pushing the envelope to discover that there is more to life than what we see. And he's going to be talking about that with us later today. So welcome, Jim.
Thank you, Jane.
So let's turn to Soulshine and get the vibe going with some music.
Return to me, with every breath, return, and begin with me, with every breath, return.
I think this is great for a new start for a new year, so let's sing Return to Me.
Return to me, return to me, with every breath, return, and begin with me, with every breath, return.
Return to love.
Return to love. Return to love. With every breath, return. And begin with love. With every breath, return.
Return to peace. Return to peace.
Return to peace. With every breath, return. And begin with peace. With every breath, return. With every breath,
Oh, that's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. What a beautiful place to return to love and peace in ourselves. So we have celebrations to return to now with Claire Kubota.
Good morning. We have lots of celebrations this morning, so happy to share those. So here are some of them. I had so many I had to write them down. So let's see. Marilyn Haller is celebrating the happiness and togetherness we'll share in 2021. So she's affirming that. We're putting that energy out there, right? So, and then Marilyn has also moved to the valley, so she is appreciating and celebrating all the rain that they're getting. See, it's all a matter of just perspective, because all that creates wonderful, lush green forest over there. So she's celebrating that. And yes, we need a lot of rain. We need some rain. Alicia is celebrating this Unity community and her daughter getting a new bike donated to her for Christmas. And she sent in an adorable photo that she wanted to share of her daughter with her new bike. So she's super excited, and we are so grateful to our Unity family for helping contribute to their celebration, Christmas celebration. Ron Kurtz is celebrating his youngest brother's birthday today, and that's often missed because of all the Christmas and New Year's celebrations, so he wanted to make sure his brother got celebrated. Serenity Snow, who was our speaker last week, if you missed her, her mom is now coming to live in Oregon. So, yay! Welcome to Oregon. Welcome to the Pacific Northwest, Serenity's mom. My mom, speaking of moms, is celebrating her husband's release from the hospital. And we had a little bit of a panic attack last week. The worst time to possibly be in the hospital is over Christmas holiday during COVID. So we are so grateful that he is out of the hospital and has returned home. He has 4 daughters who came up from all over the country to come and see him. And so my mom is celebrating their help and their hugs and their wonderful meals that they helped her with. So really appreciating that. Victor is celebrating his favorite author's birthday. Can you guess who that is? J.R.R. Tolkien. The writer of the whole Lord of the Rings series. He would have been 129 years old today. Just fun fact. So if you need a trivia question, there you go. Dave is celebrating his beautiful wife, Kalinda. Kalinda, did he do something bad to warrant him celebrating you today?
No, it's the other way around.
Oh, the other way around. No. So, yes. And the other thing Dave shared this morning is that 20 years ago today, approximately today, was when Unity in Central Oregon started, and Dave was one of the founding members. So he has been part of this family for 20 years. Amazing. We're so glad you're still part of our family, Dave, and appreciate you every week. Greg Warnick wanted to celebrate and thank his troupe of musicians and singers who did the New Year's Eve Burning Bowl ceremony. Those of you that came and walked the labyrinth outside, they were there playing, specifically Eric and Donna, Nikini, Julie, John, for their big hearts and big voices. So those of you that got to participate in that, I know it was awesome. And then Zeke is celebrating also the New Year's service because he came and participated did the labyrinth and was celebrating. And he was so happy to see everyone. And he remembered who gives him pets and treats, because he apparently made his rounds very deliberately to go to specifically who he needed to see. And he was exhausted when he got home, they said. He just had to rest because it was so much excitement for him to see all of you again. And speaking of Zeke, those of you that did the meditation to find your spirit animal and spirit word, Zeke also participated in that, and he wanted to share with you what his spirit animal was. So here you go. We are live at Unity of Central Oregon this morning, and I am interviewing Zeke because he did the spirit animal meditation the other morning, or the other evening. And so I was going to find out from him what his spirit animal is.
My spirit animal is a squirrel.
Is a squirrel.
A squirrel.
Zeke's spirit animal is a squirrel. Now, what does that mean to you, Zeke? What do you think a spirit animal of having a spirit animal of a squirrel means?
It means Papa and Miffa need to feed me more nuts and give me more climb more trees.
You need to have more nuts and learn how to climb trees and
get
have
more
treats
treats.
in there too. Always. Well, it also, you know what? I looked up spirit animal for squirrel, and it also means that you need to have more fun.
Oh, I
Should
like
you
that.
have more fun, huh?
I like having fun.
Oh, yes. So, if you guys have not done the spirit animal and spirit word meditation, it is online on the website, and I encourage you to check it out. We did that the other night for the New Year's Eve burning bowl ceremony. All right, have a great day.
Have a great day, please.
There you go, another treat.
Thank you, please.
Well done, Zeke.
That's fabulous. Zeke, I didn't realize that you had been practicing your speaking. That is awesome. It's just never too late to learn new tricks, right? Oh. Oh, so I really want to celebrate the labyrinth setup down there and the burning bowl meditation. That was so wonderful to see people and have quite a good crowd of people. We had scheduled it thanks to Leslie DeRay so that people didn't come all in one clump, but that they could spread out and do the labyrinth with some spaciousness. But it was lovely, lovely, and I think we need to do some more outdoor celebrations like that so that we can have a chance to be around each other. And if you weren't there, then you have not yet seen the beautiful trellis that Lawrence and Jim spent a whole day constructing. It's as you walk down into that sacred space, it marks it, and it's just gorgeous. We'll put a picture in the newsletter so that you can see it, or drive by and walk the labyrinth. So lots to celebrate this year.
Yeah, I think we should do, since it's the first of the month, let's do the birthdays.
Oh, right, the birthdays. Thanks for remembering.
Sometimes I get it right.
Yeah, all you January folks.
All you January people, we're going to sing happy birthday, everybody. Oh, here we go, ready. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday to you.
And many more. Happy birthday. Happy New Year.
Oh, so let's move into prayer now. I think that we all share in the prayer that as we begin a new year, we are holding hope for health for all, holding hope for being able to truly connect and see one another and hug each other, that is returning this year. But I also want to include in our prayers the people that are starting this new year and they don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. I've been in prayer this morning already with a couple of individuals who are dealing with mental health issues in family members. And that's so challenging when you see someone who is going to live with that, or maybe is dealing with it, maybe in a case of addiction or something like that, for the foreseeable future. And you don't know what to do, and it's very discouraging. But we affirm, for those of you who are in that situation, we affirm that there are no mistakes in this universe. We affirm that the light that shines in all is shining in those who are struggling right now with mental illness. And built into them is the way through. And so we do not see them as problems, even though they are facing challenges. We see them as the light incarnate, and we claim for them and for those who love them and are in their support circle, we claim that they are able to keep remembering the light and that it is guiding them forward. And for those who start this new year without loved ones beside them who have passed on over the past year, and for whom this new year seems unimaginable, we hold the light of hope and comfort that they may find the strength to keep going one step at a time, and they may open with all of their senses to become aware of the life that continues after the body has dissolved. And for all of those who are struggling financially right now, maybe you don't have a job, maybe you have depleted your savings, maybe the struggles with this pandemic are causing you to lose your business. We claim for you that there is a way through, that there are helping hands all around, ready to support you. We claim that this is a season, this is a weather pattern, and it will pass, because the light that you are is inherently abundant. And we see you remembering that and holding on to that truth, and we hold it with you. We claim prosperity for you in this coming year. So for these intentions and all the others that remain unspoken, for all those that you write in your claims and share with us so that we can hold you in prayer, for all of these, we take now into song.
Breathe in and know I am. Be still and know I am. Let go and know I
So let's take that now into a meditation. I already kind of feel like I'm in a meditative space after listening to that prayer, Jane, and that song. Thank you all. I'm going to ask each and every one of us that's listening and viewing to find a comfortable spot and to close your eyes if you're comfortable with that, and just to become still. And I would like you to imagine going deep, deep inside, whatever it is for you that takes you to that center of your being, that place of truth and beauty, that place of love and peace. Take that journey now. Go down that stairway of consciousness into that holy instant where time is meaningless because we are timeless. We are timeless beings. So take those steps. From 5, go a little deeper. From 4, go deeper still. 3, getting completely quiet, completely at peace. 2, setting aside everything that is not necessary to be one in spirit. We set it aside, knowing we can pick it up later. And now 1, we're in that holy instant. We are where life is eternal. We are where our imagination can take us wherever we want to go. And I'm going to ask you to allow your imagination to take you to a place that's beyond the bounds of time and space. Just wrap your body in light, know that it's safe, and that you can leave it for a moment. While you travel above your body as the watcher, you travel above in spirit, and you can look down at your body and know it's safe and peaceful, and that you now are the watcher. You can now know the truth of yourself, that you are not your body. You're not even your thoughts. You're not your feelings. You're not your emotions. You are not your ego or personality. You're that individuality, that individual spark of God. You feel the wonder, the expansiveness. And as you get totally into that knowing of who you truly are, you feel yourself encompassed by a wonderful warm light. Your consciousness is now completely separate from your body. You're enjoying knowing that each and every one of us, even though we are in an individual consciousness, is connected in deep ways. And you feel that connection with all of those you're meditating with. And you send that connection out to the entire human family and all that is. And you allow that light to just draw you to a place where everything is one unity, where are melded together in spirit. We are one. And just enjoy that feeling of unity in the silence for a few moments. And those moments were the holy instant, the eternal now. And we know we can take that back with us. as we decide to let go of being above and beyond and re-enter our body and re-enter time and space and know that this is where we're meant to be right here and right now, that we knew what it was like being in the heart of God, and we can remember that it was a touchstone for us. And we feel it now and forever. And so it is.
There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word she can get what she came for. Ooh, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. There's a sign on the wall, but she wants to be sure, 'cause you know sometimes words have two meanings. In a tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings. Sometimes all of our thoughts are misgiven. Makes me wonder. Ooh, really makes me wonder. There's a feeling I get when I look to the west, and my spirit is crying for leaving. In my thoughts I have seen rings of smoke through the trees, and the voices of those who stand looking. Ooh, and it makes me wonder. Whispered that soon, if we all call the tune, then the piper will lead us to reason, and a new day will dawn for those who stand long, and the forest will echo with laughter. There's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alarmed now. It's just a spring clean for the May Queen. Yes, there are two paths you can go by, but in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on. Oh, it makes me wonder. Your head is humming and it won't go. In case you don't know, the piper's calling you to join him. Dear lady, can you hear the wind blow? And did you know your stairway lies on the whispering wind? And as we wind on down the road, our shadows taller than our souls, there walks a lady we all know, who shines white light and wants to show how everything still turns to gold. And if you listen very hard, the tune will come to you at last, when all are one and one is all, to be a rock and not to roll. And she's buying a stairway to heaven.
Oh, Victor, it's so different listening and yet being right here listening next to you. And it was chilling. It was just really beautiful. Thank you so much for that. You did such justice to that song. Wow. I love thinking about this buying a stairway to heaven. What came to me was the old quip, money can't buy, there's only one thing money can't buy. You know what it is, right? Poverty. Yeah, that's the only thing. But there's actually more than just that one thing that money can't buy. It can't buy that stairway to heaven, can it? And that material world is one of the ways that we're stuck here out of consciousness instead of awakening our consciousness to what it takes. I love the words in there about being taken to heaven on the whispering winds, because nature to me is just the perfect way to get in touch with who we are, to be in touch with that spirit. It's interesting, when I said yes to doing this talk, one of the things I had in mind was a talk about consciousness beyond death. You remember that, Jane? Mm-hmm. We were going to do that. And it's because I had prepared that for LightPath, for a webinar that we were going to do and make it into a podcast. And so all of my science background started coming out. And I was thinking, what does science really know about consciousness? And I started looking at it and studying it, and what they know. They know that there's 82 billion cells in the brain, and there's 0.2 quadrillion neural connections, and they don't know what consciousness is. They say, well, thoughts, where do they come from? They just pop into your consciousness from your brain. Well, others say no, they don't pop in, they pop from outside. They come from outside into your brain. You know, what I realized is that I'll never be an authority on consciousness, but I am an authority on something that we're all an authority on, and that is our human experience and our common human experience. So that's what I want to talk about today, is the experience we all have in finding our way to awakening our spiritual consciousness. My road has been kind of long and circuitous, like maybe others. Some of us have the luxury of having woken up just like that and stayed awake and have a touchstone to come back to and remain awake, even through the human trials and travails that we run into because of life. But others like me, and maybe some of you, have had to find our way along by gaining experiences that changed the way we think and the way we live and the way we react to spirit. For me, there was 1,000 little ways, lots of ahas along the way, lots of trials and problems that caused me to stop and think about who I am and how I can find a higher power to get me past some of these really difficult times. But the most important ones were the almost miraculous ones. And those are the ones that we tell stories about to each other. And those are the ones we share with each other. The semi-miraculous, because everything in life is a miracle. But so I'm going to share 2 of those experiences that really changed my life so dramatically that it upended my reality completely. And it kind of allowed me to step back, jump out of my skin and say, who really am I? And why am I really here? And I'm sure some of you have had that experience, so sure that I'm going to ask you about it. I've asked Kevin and Nico to collect your responses to 2 questions. First question, have you had an out-of-body or a near-death experience? Second, just say yes if you have, and text that or I guess respond with the chat on Facebook or on Zoom. Am I right, Kevin? In the chat. In the chat, got it, okay. And the second question, have you had an experience, a mountaintop of experience of being at one with everything, what I call a unitive experience? Mm-hmm. And so the second question, just say 1 or 2, yes, and we'll tally those. I'm not looking for your complete experience because that would be a lifetime of discussions here. But I'd like to know, because I have studied a lot about these experiences, having had some, and I find that many, many people have had these same experiences. It's a common human experience. And whether you have or haven't, I'm sure you've had plenty of ways that you've awoken in your lifetime. But I'm going to share a couple of things about these. But first I want to talk about how my life has been during this COVID time. I'm really blessed to have a partner in life. And when I wake up every morning, my partner wakes up with me. I get kisses from my partner. We have breakfast together. We go for a walk together. Then I come home and take her leash off and wake up Joanne. And I have my human partner, who is my best friend also. And the reason I wanted to talk about dogs, and Zeke is a perfect example as well, is that they say dog is a man's best friend. And why is that? And I've identified 2 key reasons. They give unconditional love, and they're non-judgmental. And I remember when Shaheli, my 13-year-old granddaughter, asked me about what is really unconditional love. And I told her that old story you've all heard. If you lock your wife and your dog in the trunk and open it an hour later, who's happier to see you? That's unconditional love. That's non-judgment, right? Yeah, well, that brings me to my experience where I had the experience of unconditional love and non-judgment. It's a story of an out-of-body experience that translated into a near-death experience. And yes, it's in the book Flash that Jane mentioned. And I'm not going to tell the whole story because it is in the book. And anyone that buys it, the entire amount of the purchase goes to Unity. So it's really worth it to Unity for you to buy it. But anyway, in that experience, I was on a motorcycle and I was traveling at 70 miles an hour when another car pulled out in front of me. And at that instant, I was boxed in on all sides because I was passing another car. And I realized I had no way out of it, and that within a matter of seconds, I was going to die. Now, because I knew I was going to die, I think that's the reason that I left my body completely. And they say that this happens when you approach death, or when you have a near-death experience, that you leave your body. And there's many, many stories of people that have left their body and floated above and looked at it and so on. Well, that's an out-of-body experience for sure. But I think the difference for me in an out-of-body and a near-death experience, because I've had both, is that in the near-death experience, I reviewed my entire life, experience by experience, and in every single review of each major event in my life, and it wasn't the whole life, it was major events, but it was like I was actually reliving them in real time, even though there was no time whatsoever. I was beyond time and space. But in each event, the question always came, where did you show love? And it's interesting because a lot of the experiences, I noticed that I wasn't showing love the way I could have. Others, I felt like, oh, I really did. And it brought new meaning to that song from Sinead and Noel. The only measure of your words and your deeds is the love you leave behind when you're gone. And that's what I was feeling. I was just feeling that, like, I really need to leave more love behind when I go. And the other thing we talk about is judgment. Someone on high is judging you. No, that wasn't what happened. I had a discernment within myself, maybe from my higher self, maybe from my consciousness that was lifted above me, of where I had shown love and where I didn't. But I wasn't being judged from any outside entity. It was a self-discernment. And I also felt like, even though I came very close to the near-death experience, I didn't experience going to the light, being drawn to the light, like so many near-death experiences explain. And I think the reason why is because I didn't die. I'm still here. So clearly, I didn't need to go through that experience. But I knew it was potentially coming. And so that was an experience that changed my life because I recognized that there's no longer a reason to be afraid of death. That, as Woody Allen says, I'm not afraid of dying, I just don't want to be there when it happens. And I knew that I wouldn't have been there when it happened. And I think a lot of us probably have that opportunity to just exit before that death experience, especially if it's a traumatic one potentially coming, and watch it and just say, oh, that was kind of interesting. Now I'm free. Now I'm who I really am again. And even though I love the life I had in that body, I'm free to be 100% spirit, pure, positive energy, doing and being whatever I need for my next lessons, if I decide to come back, if I am here permanently, whatever your beliefs are. It's a release, a wonderful release. And so, in my mind, I can look forward to that as my next adventure. And the reason I say that is because part of my discovery of my life is that my purpose in life, if you want to call it that, is exploration and adventure and finding that freedom and that growth and that love that comes from following your passion. So for me, adventure was the key word. And I ended up writing this book as a result of that experience. And it's interesting, as Joanne was editing it, she's a wonderful editor, by the way, she said, hey, I think I finally understand you for the first time. Yes, you're crazy, but you're doing what you really love to do. And yes, I've wanted to explore the world, and I've traveled the world, and yes, I've wanted to get into the sciences, and I've done that, and I've had my career, and I've retired, and I'm perfectly happy to be exactly where I am now. So the second experience that really changed my life and is another touchstone for me was what I call the mountaintop experience, and I was literally sitting on a mountaintop in nature, and nature is my sacred space as well as here. And I was just in this meditative, contemplative, serene, quiet state of mind, and I was just looking out over the absolute beauty and splendor of nature. And it just put me in this space where I was feeling more and more drawn, almost like I was being drawn into this scene. I was part of a picture. And the next thing you know, I was part of it. I was in this feeling like I am all of this. All of this is me. And it was such a profound experience that when I came out of it, I said, that's the higher reality. That's who we all really are. We are all one. Even if we're in this body, we're all one. And I may be able to share my experience, and I may be able to help you see where some of the ways you've lived are touchstones for you. But what I find is the poets say it best. So I brought a little poem I'd like to read you. This is from Walt Whitman. It says, "Oh, I could sing such grandeurs and glories about you. You have not known what you are. You have slumbered upon yourself all your life. Your eyelids have been the same as closed most of the time. Whoever you are, claim your own at any hazard. These shows of the East and West are tame compared to you. These immense meadows, these interminable rivers, you are immense and interminable as they." And that just leaves me holding my heart, knowing that that's who we really are. That is the truth of who we are. So when you think about your spiritual awakening, think back in your life as to what touchstones have you had? What has been your experience? And I might ask at this point, Claire, if you've collected any responses and what that result is.
So we have approximately 60 people watching,
Uh-huh.
and we probably had about... Nika wants me on the microphone. So we have about 60 people watching right now, and I would say 15 yes to each of the questions.
Thank you. The reason I say that's really interesting is the studies that have been done on out-of-body experiences in particular say that about 20% of the population has had an out-of-body experience or a near-death experience. That's 25%. Yeah. So, we're just a little bit higher in our number of people that experience this. And so talk to those people, ask people about their experiences, and share it, and find out how we're all connected at such a deep level, and how we all share our common human experiences. Whatever those awakening experiences were, just know that as we awaken together, the more we awaken, the more we find our circle of light radiating outward will eventually radiate outward till the whole world is becoming awake. And I do see this year as a year of awakening, partially as a result of all the introspection we've been doing. And I want us to all picture a world where we're connected in deep ways, where we're able to travel outside the bounds of time and space at any time, where we're all world citizens, where there's no boundaries. Let's call it a charter of nations, all one. So you can call me a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope you'll join me, and the world will live as one.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky.
Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Imagine no possessions. I wonder if we can. No need for greed or hunger. The brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer. Oh, I'm a dreamer. But I'm not the only one. Oh, I'm not the only one. Hope someday you'll join us. And the world will live as one. So please join us. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one.
Oh, wow. That song is always so beautiful, but the way that you three just did that was astonishing. Such beautiful harmonies. And Reverend Jim, your talk, that was so powerful. It was so powerful. And I know, because I've talked to so many of you about experiences that you've had out of body or near death, and I know there is a richness in this community beyond the 15 that shared. It's a beautiful reason for spiritual community, just to be able to know that you're not alone in that others are able to imagine that higher world because they've been there. And I'm so grateful for just knowing you for so long, Jim. I think it's almost 30 years we've been friends. Jim and Joanna are founding members of Unity as well on this 20th anniversary, and so am I. And so we've been very closely connected in those times. And I can remember all of our training going into ministry and training with speaking, and the humility that you brought to that talk was so amazing to me. I can witness the growth in you, and I know that Jim is available as a mentor to anybody who needs it. So if you're feeling like you're just starting out on your road and you need somebody to lean on, he's the guy. Yeah, really. And that's what spiritual community brings. Yeah, oh, I should have known.
Got him started.
That's what spiritual community brings us, is the opportunity to have others to remind us of what is true. And the book that we referenced, Flash, this is it. It's here at Unity. I'm not sure, is it on Amazon? Is that how they can get it?
It is, but it's really difficult. They've kind of hijacked it and put ridiculous prices on it. Some people buy them. They put a price of $300 on it. They get one sale. I'm happy. So just go on Simple Church, contact me. We'll get it to you, and write the check to Unity.
Okay, that sounds great. It's a wonderful read. He's been an adventurer his whole life, and there have been so many near misses that will just, keep reading this book and think, how is this guy alive? So it's because there is a light inside him that is propelling him forward. So I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to invite you to make a contribution to Unity, whether it's through buying Jim's book or just texting a donation. Your money is a symbol of your life energy. And if you want to put your life energy into creating spiritual community that nourishes way beyond the walls of this building, that is a light that is standing there for everyone to see, then your donations do that. We are so grateful for all the ways that you contribute, and especially for this crew that is here keeping us going on a Sunday morning. Kevin and Nico on the tech team. What? Announcements. I won't forget announcements. Our main announcement is Reverend Jill is tonight with the Health and Wellness Ministry. She's doing Activate Your Creative Freedom. And Reverend Jill is pretty amazing with the visioning process. I just love that woman. And so I hope that you'll be able to join us from 6:30 to 7:30. You can get the Zoom link for that in our newsletter. So please do that, or go on to Simple Church. Either way, you'll find it there. So let's sing about all this wonderful blessings that are flowing into our lives.
I got gratitude in my heart. I got gratitude in my soul. I just want to say thank you, thank you. I just want to say thank you, thank you. I just want to say thank you for going. I got gratitude in my heart. I got gratitude in my soul. I just want to say thank you. Thank you. I just want to say thank you. Thank you. I just want to say thank you for it all. Thank you for it all. Thank you for it all. Thank you for it all.
Oh, that song just makes me happy every time.
Is also, and if it is, Jim, feel free to just, kick me in the shin or something. It's also available on Kindle and Audible. So if you want to hear him reading it to you.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. It's on Audible, so.
Nice.
I won't kick you in the shin.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, they're getting out of control.
Yeah.
Let's do our blessing over the offering. From the love of pure spirit within us, we bless these gifts. We send them forth to heal, bless, and prosper. They are evidence of our faith and belief. They do good work in the world and return to us multiplied abundantly. And so it is. And so since the party's already getting started, I'm going to remind you to join us in the Zoom room. And let's do our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds me.
The light of God
surrounds me. I am the light of God.
I am the light of God.
The love of God enfolds me.
The love of God enfolds me.
I am the love of God.
I am the love of God.
The power of God protects me.
The power of God protects me.
I am the power of God.
I am the power of God.
The presence of God watches over me.
The presence of God watches over me.
I am the presence of God.
I am the presence of God.
Wherever God is, I am.
Wherever God is, I am.
Because I am.
Because I am. Yay, God. Yeah.
The light of God surrounds me. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds me. I am the love of God. The power of God protects me. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. Oh yeah. Wherever I am, God. There I am. Wherever I am, God is. Because I am. Oh yeah. I was hoping you were gonna go there. Lean on me, when you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long. It won't be long. I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. 'Cause it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Well, just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. But we all need somebody to lean on. Happy New Year! And good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are. Ha-cha-cha-cha.